from Userful next. So Tim, who are you? What are you showing us? And what, if anything, can the community do for you?
Okay, great. Well, thanks, Patrick, for organizing this. It's a really cool event, and it's great to see so many faces here. My name is Tim Griffin. I'm president and founder of Userful. We're a software company headquartered here in Calgary. We also have an office in Victoria. And what we do is, today I'm going to be demoing for you two technologies that we pioneered that have been revolutionizing the way people deploy and manage desktop computers. So in terms of the first technology allows you to build essentially an $80 full-powered PC. And ironically, it just costs us about $15 to make. And the second technology allows you to provide managed desktops by the month. So this is basically, many of you are familiar with companies like Salesforce that allow you to do CRM by the month from a web portal. Our software allows you to manage your desktop infrastructure by the month from a web portal. So I'll get into this in a little bit more detail so you can get a feel for what we do. So in terms of turning one computer into 10, you simply add extra video cards and connect up to 10 USB keyboards and monitors. I'll give you an idea of how that works here. So you basically take a standard PC and add extra, insert some extra video cards, add some extra monitors. These can be ordinary monitors. Add some USB keyboards and mice or touch screens. Connect all your devices, and you're ready to go. In terms of how this is being deployed around the world, here's an example case study in South Africa. So you can see a bunch of kids there in front of the computers. They're all super happy because they've never had a computer before. And you can see 7 monitors and keyboards, 1 central computer box there. So that gives you a little bit of a feel for how we multiply the computer. So when we say an $80 PC, you're talking about $15 for the video card and the rest of it for the software. Now, what we do as a company to manage the computers is we provide this unbreakable managed desktop, and I'll drill into that in a little bit more detail. So we offer different platforms for different industries and application areas. But say you drill into, so for example, we sell into libraries, hospitality, education, retail banking, government, military. Interestingly, the Canadian military is using our stuff over in Afghanistan so the troops can connect home and communicate with their families. Internet cafes, healthcare, and so let's drill in here. So in the hospitality industry, for example, there's a number of different places you can use it. You can put a kiosk in the lobby, for example, so that guests can check their email and that kind of a thing. You can do a hotel business center so people can print documents and so on. You can use it at your front desk, right? And you can also do an internet rental cafe appliance, right? Where you say you're having a convention at the hotel and you want to put out computers for the guests to use. We deal a lot, our company, with the types of areas where you've got people that are coming in, they're needing computer access for a short period of time. We deal with what we call the provisioned desktop computer. So examples include at the front desk of the hotel, right? The employees there couldn't care less about the computer. They just use it to do their job, and they're using maybe 2 or 3 applications, maybe just 1 application. The nice thing about our system is it allows you to actually have your front desk system with maybe 2 stations for the staff, and then you can have on the other side, you can have 2 stations for the guests to surf the internet or to sign into the hotel system and that kind of thing. But anyway, this is a demo, so let's get going with the demo. So say we wanted to get going managing our hotel computers. So this gives you an interface to do that. So we have a live demo here. Well, let me. Okay, there we are. This is just loading over the web. This is for those that are technical, it's a VNC demo here. So pardon the slowness of this. When you actually use a real Discover station, it's blazingly fast because you're directly connected to the video card. Feels just like an ordinary PC. But you can choose the language that you want to work in. We support up to 30 different languages. Choose the session profile that you want. So let's say this person wants the internet and office. And then the hotel guest reads through this acceptable use policy and says they agree to it, and they're into the desktop. And it takes a couple seconds to load, and it gives them some warnings about, okay, you've got, if you walk away, it's going to log you out after 5 minutes. The timer is at the bottom, which unfortunately we can't really see here, but it's ticking down at the bottom, and it tells you about your internet filtering and so on. Then you have a whole suite of applications, and we actually include the full Office suite and word processor and a whole suite of applications with every desktop that we ship. So to go back to how this then relates to our web-based management console, which you can see here, this allows you to set up and control these profiles. So this is this is one of our hospitality customers that has they have 4 different brands that they support. So they support Super 8, Best Western, Ramada Inn, and Travel Lodge. And they've set up a bunch of different profiles, and they can switch between those profiles here. So one of the profiles is the local attractions, right? And if they said, okay, well, I actually don't want to make that the web page. Let's make it userful.com, which is actually our website. Then it uploads a little screenshot of the web page that's wanted there. Then they can go, this is a profile I set up so people can print their boarding passes, right? And if I wanted to change the name of that to Air Canada, because right now that's really what it does.
Tim, are we in your software right now?
No, sorry, yeah, right now.
Demo, right?
No, this is our software, but this is a web-based. This is the web-based management console. So I mentioned that we do 2 things as a company. We manage PCs and we multiply PCs. So the first part was the multiply, add the extra video cards into a single computer box. This part is the manage. So I'm just showing you how easy it is to manage your computers. Traditionally, it's probably worth taking a step back. Traditionally, because some of you may not fully appreciate this, traditionally it takes about $10,000 per year per PC to manage and control it, right? So that goes into salaries for the IT staff to listen to the managers about what they want, right? So the IT staff person will come in, the manager will say, oh, well, look, I want lockdown, I want the people to have access to this but not this. They'll say, I don't want people surfing Hotmail on the job, but I want them to be able to access these websites. I want I don't want them to be able to get any viruses or spyware and so on, right? So they'll listen to all those requirements, and they'll go out and they'll build a drive image, right? And then they'll deploy that drive image using $80,000 tools, right? And their salaries, $80,000 a year as well, right? And very quickly it adds up to about $10,000 per PC per year to manage and maintain them, right? What this is doing is allowing people through a cheap internet subscription to manage their PCs through a web portal.
So this is your system, not just a presentation.
No, this is our system. So we're interacting with it right now, and if I applied these changes, right now I'm just playing with it, but if I actually applied these changes, then they would go out and get automatically downloaded to the PCs of this customer, and they would, their PCs would take into effect all these changes, right? So instead of saying, it would say Air Canada now, instead on their welcome screen, instead of saying, whatever it said before, I've forgotten.
So your management interface actually runs on your web server?
Yeah, it's a hosted, it runs on our web server, much the way Salesforce.com runs on Salesforce.com's web servers.
What are these security considerations with enterprise related with?
Well, there's no actual data there. So there is configuration data. So there is data about what your desktop computers look like and what websites you're blocking and so on. But there's no actual user data there. And we made a point of designing the architecture that way. So my guess is that very few corporations would be too concerned if people found out what websites they blocked. But I guess that is a risk, and certainly we do maintain our servers and make sure they're secure. But
can we save that for the end? I'm going to get Tim back on track here.
Okay.
He only has, how many minutes left? About 3 minutes left on this?
Okay, all right, okay, so basically this is the web portal that allows you to manage and maintain your computers. When you hit save, it automatically says here's the configuration file and sends it out to your computers. A new customer to our company comes to our web portal, they get started, they start playing with this, they say, wow, isn't this cool how I can specify my computers. At the end, they click save, and we ask them to sign up, and we send them a CD in the mail. And this CD isn't a custom CD for them, it's just our generic install CD. They can take that generic install CD, and it's all Linux-based, but most of our customers don't know or appreciate that fact. They just know that it works the way it says it does and that it behaves accordingly. So they take that install CD, install it on the computer, and it then, from that point on, that computer is the slave of the web portal, basically. The web portal is where they can go to make all of their changes. The nice thing is that this is easy enough and intuitive enough that the manager can make these changes themselves. They don't need to call in the IT person themselves. And the IT person may not have the domain knowledge to be able to do these kind of things quickly. The manager can quickly do it through a web portal and has saved themselves $100,000 in salary and has saved themselves the expensive tools that those IT people need in order to manage desktops. So traditionally, a desktop computer costs about $10,000 a year to maintain. And it takes usually one IT person per 35 desktop computers. With this system, our track record is currently about one IT person to 2,500 desktop computers in terms of our internal support staff, right? Because we're eliminating that management layer there. So what we're doing is we're taking something that was available only to the rich. These are the companies that could afford this kind of level of management, and even PCs, as you saw in that South Africa example. Taking something that's only available to the rich and making it affordable, accessible, and also sustainable. Because you take a PC, you share it, you're dramatically reducing the environmental impact of that computer. And in terms of what we're looking for, we're looking for partners. We're looking for staff. We're looking for people that are interested and excited about this idea and want to get involved. One of the things that we're just bringing to the market right now, we are always tackling new vertical markets. So one of the new applications that we're tackling right now is pay-per-use kiosks, where you just come up and swipe your credit card and it automatically handles everything else for you. At any rate, I can open up for questions.
Perfect.
So this is essentially designed for people that are not really using heavy processor, right? It's just
Yeah, you wouldn't want to play the Kung Fu game earlier on this. It's not for gaming, right? It's for everyday word processing. Interestingly, a lot of kids do use it for gaming and using internet games and so on, and it stands up okay, right? But that's not at all what it's intended for.
yeah.
Yes.
So it's like I didn't quite get your architecture. It's a thin client that runs on your client servers, or is it an actual Linux distribution that runs on each?
Yeah, one of the problems with thin client, so thin client, for those that don't know, is basically you have a server that's running in your server room, and then you have a software layer like Citrix that allows it to compress all the user interface stuff, send it to a small dumb device, and then that sends it back and forth, right? So there's a layer of compression and overhead, but more importantly, there's a layer of software expense and hardware expense and management overhead that we cut out completely. And so with our system, the video card is plugged directly into the monitor, which is plugged directly into the PC with the CPU there. So you have orders of magnitude higher performance, but more importantly, orders of magnitude more cost reduction, because you don't have to have that server farm and the IT people to manage that server farm for the Citrix server.
Okay, so it's so each one is an actual PC, which is basically just downloading configuration data.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
Tim, where are you finding most of the traction for this right now? Who's demanding it the most? Libraries, hospitality?
Well, yeah, libraries, schools, hospitality, and we're just cracking just cracking into other markets. So we have some call centers, some workforce. A lot of workforces have kiosks for deskless workers. So like hospitals and so on have kiosks so that the nurses can check their email while they're doing an overnight shift and so on, right? So applications like that as well.
Are you using virtualization to run all the OSs, or is it just one OS?
It's just one OS. So there's a RAM and CPU overhead that comes with multiple instances of an operating system that we didn't want to incur. So this was the more efficient approach. Okay, well, thank you guys.
Great.